Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 2, Chapter 6, Text 37. We're very fortunate this morning to have Her Grace Gita Devi Dasi, ISKCON Atlanta, Mother Gita to give a class. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Gita ji, Dandavad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Bhakti Rasa.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Lord Śiva Prabhupada.
Should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we are reading from Canto 2, Chapter 6, and verse number 37. Nāhaṁ na yūyaṁ yad-ṛtāṁ gatiṁ vidur na vāmadevaḥ kim utāpare surāḥ tan-māyayā mohita-buddhayas idaṁ vinirmitaṁ cātma-samaṁ vicakṣmahe. Na, neither, aham, I, na, nor, yūyaṁ, all you sons, yat, whose, ṛtāṁ, factual, gatiṁ, movements, viduhu, do know, na, nor, vāmadevaḥ, Lord Śiva, kim, what, uta, else, apare, others, surāḥ, demigods, tat, by his, māyayā, by the illusory energy, mohita, bewildered, buddhayas, with such intelligence, tu, but, idaṁ, this, vinirmitaṁ, what is created, cha, also, cātma-samaṁ, by dint of one's personal ability, vicakṣmahe, observe. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Since neither Lord Śiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. Purport. We have many times mentioned the names of 12 selected authorities, Dvadasha Mahajana, of which Brahma, Narada, and Lord Śiva head the list as the first, second, and third in order of merit of those who know something of the Supreme Lord. Other demigods, semi-demigods, Gandharvas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, human beings, or Asuras cannot possibly know fully about the potencies of the absolute Lord Sri Krishna. The demigods, semi-demigods, Gandharvas, etc. are all highly intelligent persons in the upper planets. The human beings are inhabitants of the intermediate planets, and the Asuras are inhabitants of the lower planets. All of them have their respective conceptions and estimations of the absolute truth, as does the scientist or the empiric philosopher in human society. All such living entities are creatures of the material nature, and consequently, they are bewildered by the wonderful display of the three modes of material nature. Such bewilderment is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 13. Tribhir gunamayer bhaver ebihi sarvam idam jagat. Every entity, beginning from Brahma down to the ant, is individually bewildered by the three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. Everyone thinks in terms of individual capacity that this universe, which is manifested before us, is all in all. And so the scientist in the human society of the 20th century calculates the beginning and end of the universe in his own way. But what can the scientist know? Even Brahma himself was once bewildered, thinking himself the only one Brahma favored by the Lord. But later on, by the grace of the Lord, he came to know that there are innumerable more powerful Brahmas as well in far bigger universes beyond this universe. And all of these universes combined together form ekapad-vibhuti, or 1/4 of the manifestation of the Lord's creative energy. The other 3/4 of his energy are displayed in the spiritual world. And so what can the tiny scientist with a tiny brain know of the absolute personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna? The Lord says, therefore, mohitam nabhijanati mam ebhayah param avyayam. Bewildered by such modes of material nature, they cannot understand that beyond these manifestations is a supreme person who is the absolute controller of everything. Brahma, Narada, and Lord Shiva know about the Lord to a considerable extent, and therefore one should follow the instructions of these great personalities instead of being satisfied with a tiny brain and its playful discoveries, such as spacecraft and similar products of science. As the mother is the only authority to identify the father of a child, so the mother, Vedas, presented by the recognized authorities such as Brahma, Narada, or Shiva, is the only authority to inform us about the absolute truth. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The translation once again. Excuse me. Since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. What a powerful verse. All verses of Bhagavatam are very, very powerful. So here we can see Lord Brahma is talking to Narad Muni, his son Narad Muni, about the Supreme Lord. And he's confirming that he himself, Lord Shiva and Narad Muni and others, we are all demigods. We are not God. So we have another reference from the Vedas, from the scriptures, that give us the knowledge who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is Krishna. So Brahma is telling Narada that demigods are not sure of the limit of spiritual happiness. So there's a difference between material happiness and spiritual happiness. Material happiness has a beginning and an end, as we learned in Bhagavad Gita. But spiritual happiness is ever increasing. So here, Brahmaji is saying that demigods are not sure of the limits of spiritual happiness. Why? Because they are bewildered by the illusory energy of Krishna, and that is called Maya. Srila Prabhupada gives such a very powerful purport to this verse, and he talks about the 12 Mahajanas. Mahajanas means great personalities. And who are those 12 great personalities? Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlada Janaka Bhishma Balir Vayasaki Vayam. These are the 12 Mahajanas mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So these great personalities, even though they are great Mahajanas, still they are not able to know Krishna fully. And Srila Prabhupada says this is the order of their greatness. So first is Lord Brahma, then Narad Muni, then Lord Shiva. And they know something about the Supreme Lord. So if such great personalities know something about the Supreme Lord, how can we human beings know Krishna completely, like fully? Unfortunately, most people in this material world, they have their own conceptions and their own estimations about who is God. That's what Prabhupada says in the purport. Everybody doesn't know absolute truth. Very, very few know who is the absolute truth. And they don't know completely. Even Lord Brahma says, I don't know Lord Krishna fully. So with our tiny brains that we have, how can we come up with the knowledge which is perfect, which gives us, which helps us to understand Krishna fully? Possible. So instead of following our tiny brain, we should follow the footsteps of great Mahajanas, these 12 Mahajanas. And Srila Prabhupada, towards the end of the purport, gives a very nice analogy. He says, just like the mother knows exactly who the father is. Of course, she cannot give proof. It's not possible for a mother to give proof. So similarly, Prabhupada says the Vedas, these scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are like the mother who's giving us information about the absolute truth, about who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. No one can know Krishna in full. Why? Because people like us, our knowledge is covered up with the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So, does that mean that there is no hope for us? There is. All we need to do is make a sincere effort to take on this knowledge. Read Srila Prabhupada's books scrutinizingly. Hear from advanced devotees on these scriptures. And most importantly, chant the holy names of the Lord attentively. When we do that, there's going to be purification of the heart. And then Krishna, being pleased by our sincere endeavors, he will reveal himself. So Lord Brahma is telling Narad Muni that all three of us, we cannot know Krishna fully. And he's explaining the limitations of knowledge. Now, Lord Brahma is a humble devotee. He's one of the 12 great Mahajanas. So this is important to think about, that if all three do not know Krishna fully, how can we know? We are so tiny, insignificant living entities in this huge creation of Krishna. There are many universes. We are just part of one universe, one tiny universe. But it's possible. It's possible to know Krishna only when Krishna wills, when he wants, when he is merciful to us, then we can understand. But for that, we need to surrender. Surrender is very, very important, because in any sphere of life we see, whatever we want to excel in, there has to be surrender. If there is no surrender, if there's no sincerity, if you're not serious about it, how will we achieve that goal? And see, unfortunately, most of us, we hold back. Krishna doesn't see what we give him, he sees what we hold back. And see, I was listening to this very nice pastime, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself, who came 539 years ago to this earthly planet, and he was chanting and dancing, and he was going, along with all his associates. He was going, and while he was going, he felt thirsty, and then he saw there was a vendor on the way who was selling chas. You know what is chas? It is yogurt, which is, in a very liquidy form with salt and black pepper in it. And the chas is actually very soothing, very satisfying, especially when it's hot weather and when, we are tired and thirsty. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped there and requested for a cup of chas. And the vendor was pleased because he thought, hey, now I have some good business, I've been sitting here for so long, I'm poor and I need money. And so he gave a cup of chas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu drank that. And then the vendor said, okay, give me the money. And he said, well, my associates are behind, they are coming, they will give it to you, they will pay you. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started walking forward. His associates were behind and they came. They were also thirsty. And they also wanted to drink chas. And so the vendor was very happy that, oh, now today I've got a lot of business. So he gave chas to all the associates that were there. Now, by this time, he had finished all his chas. There was nothing left. All was, you can say sold. He sold all the chas. He didn't hold back anything. He was happy to give. He gave all of it. Of course, at the back of his mind, he was thinking, oh, today is good business day. But these associates, they said, oh, we don't have any money. He said, but then your leader who just left, he said, you're not going to pay me. He said, well, we don't have money, and they left. Now this vendor was really sad that I was hoping to earn so much money today, and look, everything is gone. All my chas is gone, and I have zero money. But then he thought, well, there must be something good in this. It's okay. They were thirsty, they drank, and it's okay. But when he took his empty basket, and when he was walking, he suddenly felt that basket very heavy. It was empty, but he felt it heavy. So when he put it down, what did he see? His basket was full of jewels, gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, emeralds. You see? When we perform bhakti yoga, when we are wanting to do devotional service for the Lord, it has to be with full heart and soul, not hold back. And holding back means we are not being sincere in our endeavors. Now, we've learned from Bhagavad Gita, and we are learning from Srimad Bhagavatam also, that the only way to attain permanent happiness, the only way to remove our bewilderment. Most of us are bewildered in this life, confused, perplexed, don't know what is right, what is wrong. So to remove this bewilderment of Maya, to remove this confusion, we need to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Need to associate with devotees, learn from them, understand. You see, Lord Brahma, he is the first living being. He appeared from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And he's a secondary creator also. He's actually the head of our sampradaya also, right? Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, the strict disciplic succession. So we belong to that Brahma Sampradaya. And he's the one to whom Krishna revealed himself after Lord Brahma performed a lot of austerities. Austerities actually is a jewel on the head of a devotee. It's like a jewel on the head of a devotee. So we need to perform austerities also, not like Lord Brahma did, which is not possible for us, but at least we can follow the scriptures and perform those austerities like in the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita clearly tells us what are the different austerities. Austerity of the body is to keep it clean inside out, to worship the deities, to lead a simple life, to be celibate, to be non-violent. Austerity of the mind is to be satisfied, content with what we have. Lead a simple life, gravity, self-control. All these are austerities of the mind. Austerity of the speech is being honest, but at the same time being pleasing, and it should be beneficial and not agitating the others. Another austerity of speech is to recite the Shastras, to chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You see, Lord Brahma is a great personality. We should not take Lord Brahma very lightly, and think he's just an ordinary living entity. No. You should not think, oh, I don't know about Lord Brahma. I don't know who he is. No, he's a great personality. Lord Shiva, Param Vaishnava, in charge of mode of ignorance. He helps in the annihilation of the creation. He helps Lord Vishnu. Narad Muni, another great personality. Narad Muni is imbued with power of bhakti. He can impregnate bhakti in us. That is the power of Narad Muni. Actually, associating with pure devotees can deliver living entities. And we've heard from the scriptures how Narad Muni, he was with Lord Vishnu, and they were having a discussion and wanted to know, how powerful is association of a pure devotee. Narad Muni was sent by Lord Vishnu and said, go talk to that worm that is lying there. Narad Muni said, how can I talk to a worm? So he went to the worm and he started talking. And as soon as Narad Muni started talking, the worm died. Narad Muni felt so bad. He said, what did I do? Am I the cause of the death of this worm? He went back to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu said, no, don't worry. You just go. There is a parrot. Talk to that parrot. He did the same thing and the parrot died. And then Lord Vishnu sent him to a calf. The calf died. Now Narad Muni said, no, I cannot take so much sin on my head. I am the cause of the death of so many living entities. Lord Vishnu said, no, don't worry. You go to the prince, the son of a king. Narad Muni said, do you know what will happen if the prince dies? I will be, executed. The king is not going to leave me. He said, no, you go. So when Narad Muni went to talk to the prince said, you don't know me? You should know me. Narad Muni said, I'm meeting you for the first time. I don't know who you are. He said, I'm that same worm. You had come to talk to me. You gave me association. I died and I became a parrot. Then you came to me again. You gave me your association. I died and I became a calf. And because of your association, now I have this human form of body and I'm born as a prince. That's the purity of a pure devotee, the power, the potency of a pure devotee. You see? So Narad Muni, he is empowered to give us bhakti, to spread bhakti, to teach us bhakti. He's made so many devotees, we've heard, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam and so many places we have read how Narad Muni, gave guidance to Dhruva Maharaj, to Mrigarari the hunter, so many great personalities. So, Srila Prabhupada in his purport is saying that all these three great personalities, Brahma, Narada, Shiva, they are very great personalities. And still, they do not know Krishna fully. They only know Krishna to a considerable extent. Very specific words. But still, we should follow the footsteps of these great personalities. You see? Follow in the footsteps of Lord Brahma. Srila Prabhupada has given us an easy process for bhakti yoga based on these scriptures. So, why not just follow this simple process? A question may arise in our minds that these personalities are so great, why do not they have complete knowledge of Krishna? Very simple. Because Krishna himself doesn't know himself fully. Now, one may say, wait a minute, what do you mean? He is the Supreme Lord and he doesn't know himself? No, he cannot know himself fully. Why? Because he's unlimited. His potencies are unlimited. They are ever increasing. His qualities are ever increasing. He's expanding unlimitedly. You know, it's unimaginable. So how can he know himself fully? So if that is the case, we living entities, to know Krishna fully is beyond our capacity. Even if we are very pure, we still cannot know Krishna completely. We can know Krishna completely only when Krishna wants us to know him. If someone says, I know Krishna, that means they do not know Krishna at all. It's beyond our conception. And Srila Prabhupada says, when anything is beyond our conception, we should accept the word of authority. That means here in strict disciplic succession, as Krishna is mentioned in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo vidhu. That this spiritual science, if we get from the strict disciplic succession, then our bewilderment will be gone. See, everything that we have is material. Material body, material mind, material senses, material intelligence. So how can we know Krishna with our material mind, body, and senses? No. We need to purify the senses and the mind and the heart, and the intelligence and the body. And the whole process is given to us by Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam in his purports. You see, Srimad Bhagavatam is based upon excellent questions and excellent answers. Questions by Parikshit Maharaj and answers by Shukadev Goswami. Even though it's all there in the Bhagavatam, but still we cannot understand Krishna with just this knowledge. We need his mercy, we need his permission, we need his will. Why is it so difficult to understand? It's because we are deluded by 3 modes of material nature. Srila Prabhupada talks about this in the purport. You see, because we are operating in different modes of material nature. Sometimes we are in the mode of goodness, sometimes passion, sometimes ignorance, sometimes mixed. Goodness, passion, ignorance. So there is this mixture of all these 3 modes of material nature, and it's very difficult to understand Krishna. That is why in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled Modes of Material Nature, Krishna gives the solution. How to transcend these 3 modes of material nature and by the process of bhakti yoga. Mam cha yoga bicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samitatyaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. That's verse number 26 in chapter 14. He says, Krishna says, when one who engages in full devotional service, not partial, not on weekends, or not 1 or 2 hours a day or something like that. No, who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances. We actually, we human beings, we have a bag of excuses. And the biggest disease we have is excusitis. We have a lot of excuses in our bags. Oh, I didn't do this because of this, this, and oh, I can't do this because of this, this. It's so many excuses. My health is not good. I don't have this. I that. These are all excuses. Unfailing in all circumstances. It doesn't matter what. I will perform bhakti yoga. Then Krishna says, at once one transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. It's because of these three modes, our eyes are covered up with Maya, illusory energy of the Lord. We hear Bhagavad Gita, we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but we may not accept it. If we do not accept it, how will we follow it? How will we understand it? That is why it is necessary to have a bona fide spiritual master who can guide us, who can train us, you see? Because realizing the self, realizing, this spiritual knowledge, it is possible only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. And they are pleased when there is full surrender from us, you see? Then one may say, well, I don't really have taste for hearing Bhagavatam. I don't really have taste for bhakti. Then what? It's because we are not making a sincere endeavor. See, today we are here hearing Srimad Bhagavatam because we have taste. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, right? So Srila Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is very practical. It's possible to realize, to become self-realized, but not through this material body, mind, and senses. No. Need to purify our mind and senses. How? Through bhakti yoga. That's the only way. Then we will be able to understand Krishna within the heart, through our heart. So there are three things that can give us bhakti, devotion. Bhakti itself can give us bhakti. Bhakta, a pure devotee, can give us bhakti. And Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, can give us bhakti. And that bhakti, devotion, can lead us to permanent happiness. Why does Srila Prabhupada say chant and be happy? Because chanting can make us happy. That is if we are chanting attentively. Srila Prabhupada didn't say chant and be knowledgeable. Did he say that? No. He said chant and be happy. And happiness is experienced through the heart. And that is possible when there is change of heart. There is purification. Then we will get real taste, and then we would want to do more bhakti. See? Srila Prabhupada says it's easy. Bhakti is easy. But it is easy for those who are simple. It's complicated for those who are complicated. That means we are the ones who make it very complicated. And that idea in our mind comes that, oh, bhakti is very complicated, is because of laziness. We are too lazy to perform bhakti. We have so many other material goals in life. We want to do so many things in life. And in the process, we forget the main goal of human life. What is the purpose of human life? To go back to the spiritual world, to purify ourselves and go back to the spiritual world. And there's a qualification required. Excuse me. Just like when we visit a country, we need to qualify to enter that country. We need a visa, and visa means there has to be an application for visa. We need to meet all the requirements of that country. You need to submit all the documents necessary. And then they are scrutinizingly, studied all those documents, and that country will see, okay, you meet all the requirements, you qualify to enter, and then they stamp the visa in our passport. So similarly, we need to get a stamp of Vaikuntha visa to be able to go back to Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. And that is possible when we have a recommendation letter from our spiritual master. When the spiritual master is pleased with our endeavors, sincere endeavors to do bhakti, when the spiritual master sees that we are sincerely following the instructions of the Guru, we are practicing bhakti yoga with all sincerity, then when the Guru is pleased, will give us that recommendation letter. That will give us an entry into the spiritual world. Of course, after we leave this body. This human form of life is not for eat, sleep, and be merry. No. That's what animals do. We have philosophical intelligence to understand what is right, what is wrong. And the scriptures are helping us. They are giving us knowledge. How to lead this human form of life. If you remember, in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is inquiring from Krishna. How should one sit, walk, talk, eat? Now one may say, well, Arjuna doesn't know how to do all that. He does, but what is the right way? And that's what Bhagavad Gita gives us that knowledge. How to behave, how to live this human form of life. Even important what we put in our body, eating. I remember one time my husband and I got a phone call. Excuse me. And it was from our son's friend, and he said that, well, I'm at the gas station. I have bought a new car. And unfortunately, by mistake, I put diesel in my car instead of the regular gas. And the car is not working. Naturally, your car was designed for, ordinary gas, not diesel. So this car, this body that we have, which is like a car, we cannot put diesel, or we cannot put food that is not meant for this car, for this body. And that is why in chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us knowledge about what a human being can eat. It would be a good idea to go to chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita, verse 8 onwards, and read what does Krishna have to say about eating. So now that we have this human form of life, we should use this to cross over this ocean of material world and go back to the spiritual world where there's permanent happiness. And Srila Prabhupada has given us a process to be fully conscious of Krishna. That will please Krishna, and then we will be able to get his mercy. And once we get his mercy, then our entrance into the spiritual world is guaranteed. So the verse once again, since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mother Gita, for a very nice lecture.
All glories.
Analogies, pastimes involving Ardhamuni, and so much instruction from Bhagavad Gita to help us to grow spiritually, even right down to what we need to eat. Yes, Krishna has explained all of that in the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, and it's good instruction that she said. Go there, read it, 17 from text 8 on, read it and see what it is you got to eat. And if you need to make an adjustment, then you make an adjustment because it's all there. We want to please Krishna by doing what we do. So, dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself. If you have a comment, if you have a question, if you have a takeaway that really got, really hit you in the heart and you want to share that, all of that you can do. Hare Krishna. Damodar, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Unmute. I saw your hand come up, so I assumed that you were ready to say something.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Mataji.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj.
Damodar, hold on. Okay.
Very nice instruction, Mataji, something to follow. But the more we read and more we understand, we feel how tiny we are. I like that word, tiny, tiny, tiny brain. So it's not really, possible to understand Krishna. But only thing we can do is, I guess, chant and try to do bhakti. Thank you, Mataji. Nice instructions. Hare Krishna.
All grace to Prabhupada. These are instructions from Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Damodar, please unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. It's always very nice to hear your class on Monday mornings. I was little late this morning. I was hearing another class at the start. But yeah, I mean, like a very nice class as you were explaining, like um, a lot of different things to think about. Towards the end, you were explaining about this. We need a visa to go to spiritual life. Actually, yesterday Anusuya Mataji talked on the similar topic, embassies for the divine. We were discussing the similar things. And actually, I think I have heard it, and I was like, kind of having the thoughts that, okay, we got the visa and everything. Now it's time to get back to the spiritual world. But but when we are at the airport and to go to the other country, then there is a baggage counter where you have to weigh in your bags, and then you're thinking okay, which bag, then they will tell you, okay, you cannot go with this much luggage, then you'll have to reduce it, then you're taking out, okay, what is not needed, what is needed, like that, and then we're thinking what are our attachments, and what are the attachments we need to have, and what are the attachments we need to let go. One devotee was explaining that in one of the classes. It was very nice, an analogy. He was telling that this, I took like 1 liter of mango juice to the airport, and they they said you cannot take this, so I had to let it go. Similarly, we have attachments, lot of attachments in this material world. You just have to let it go, and this will happen every lifetime. We keep on coming, we keep on going. So uh, every time we leave the body, we'll have to leave whatever we had in the next body. We'll again have some more attachments. So that was a very nice thing to hear, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, actually, Narad Muni says that to go back to Vaikuntha, there has to be no baggage at all. There has to be no baggage. Like I remember I had gone for a preaching program to another city, and I went in the morning and came back at night, and I felt so good because there's no baggage. Like I just walked in, with just my bead bag in hand, my ID, and then walked back. That was such a relief. No need to, drag that heavy bag, no need to check in and then pick it up from the belt, after. Oh, it was such a relief. So Narad Muni says no baggage allowed in Vaikuntha. So you're very right. Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Anyone else that would like to?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gita ji. Thank you for nice lecture. I know how much bhakti we do, but still we feel like it is not complete 100%. So he had to keep trying and do it.
Yes, and it's a very good thought to feel it's not enough, because if we say, "Oh, I've done enough," then we'll relax and then we will be bewildered. So that's a very nice thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Gita ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Anyone else who would like to share or ask a question, you can unmute yourself and go for it. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Okay, silent. I don't hear any, and I don't see anything in the chat either. So I guess we can end here. Thank you, Mataji, for this very, very nice, inspiring lecture this morning.
Okay.
It's the start of our week. Everybody, so you have a wonderful, wonderful Krishna conscious week. And as you know, chant and be happy. No baggage to the spiritual world, so it's wonderful. I think everything is provided there anyway. What do we need from here? Run check out Pasarupisya Kripa Sunivya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you, dear Buddhis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai.